Hello and welcome. This is Corinne Nickel, and I am um, going to post this in regards to everything that's happened in the last week regarding Charlie Kirk. I've tried to make several videos. However, I keep breaking down, so I feel a little bit stronger today and more purpose driven. And welcome. This is Half a Dime podcast. And uh, I'm not going to really have a formal outline of what I'm going to talk about. I'm just going to talk today about what's been going on with me since this happened and how I feel convicted in my heart to look at my own life. And the spirit's been moving. I Not that this makes a huge difference, because I think the spirit's moving in a lot of people, even atheists and non-believers, you know. But I have been baptized, but I've been sitting on the fence. I've been lukewarm and being convicted about that. I actually been convicted about watching and looking at um, you know uh, what I would call tarot card readings online on YouTube, um, you know, using AI too much. And instead of relying on the Holy Spirit to be leading me in my creative ventures, and using that, I've had some amazing experiences in my life, and those should have been enough to make me an on fire faith believer. For example, one clear example was I was battling um, between being in a cult, and I hadn't been in for very long, but it was clearly cult driven, praising and honoring somebody human instead of God. Um, and looking to them to help fix you, help mend you, help all these things. Um, that versus like cat being Catholic, or um, that kind of thing. And so I was actually in the Okanagan in my early 20s, and I was spacing apples in an orchard, and I was picking cherries for the month of uh, July, I believe, or August. And like I was probably 22 at the time, maybe even, yeah, about 22. And I was really torn up by some of the things that were going on in my life. And I laid on the ground, and I remember just being so distraught and so torn up, but just not knowing what to do. And I looked up. No, I first off, I was praying, and I thought, I'm going to pray. If you're real, God, you have to show me. You have to show me you're real, and you have to um, help me believe, right? When I sent that prayer out, my eyes were closed, and I was laying in the orchard. And when I looked up and opened my eyes and looked up, in the clouds was the face of God, like the face of what you would imagine Jesus's face to look like from all the different art and paintings throughout history. That's what it looked like. The hair, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, everything in that perfect um, proportion in the clouds. I couldn't close my eyes. I looked and looked, and the last things to dissipate were the eyes. I was convinced at that moment in time, and many other things I've experienced since then. Um, and so, God forgive me for just staying so lukewarm. I don't feel like I can be like that anymore. I'm trying not to cry. Anyway, I wonder if there's a bunch of other people out there feeling, throughout their life that they've had experience too that they've walked away from, and you know, and you know, since Charlie Kirk and has passed, and everything that's happened, and the people that have been expressing their belief and their faith in him, but also in God mostly. Like, I think if God has his hand on your heart, you're feeling it. That's what I believe. Even if you're not necessarily a Christian, or, my I know people in my life that are like total non-believers, atheists almost, even though they're good people, like really good people, very kind, very considerate, very thoughtful, and yet they're being convicted in their heart like no other way. And matter of fact, like even my partner, just feeling it, you know. And so, I've signed up for Erica Bible in 365.com, and a new cycle starts January 5 of 2026. She's been doing this for 10 years, and I'm looking forward to going through the Bible again. I have read the Bible before, and I've had some amazing experiences with prayer and fasting, visions, God talking to me. And that doesn't make me any better or any worse than anybody else. But, matter of fact, you know, me not being more, you know, looking to God on a daily basis, not giving everything over. Um, that is that is the part that I need to do. I need to just trust in God. Yeah, trust in God, and know that, you know, as crazy as the world seems right now, if you do that, you will have peace in your heart. And I have a calling. I think we all have a calling. And what can we do? God can show us what we can do in our own little worlds, in our own space, in the time that we have. I'm 63. It feels like my time's passed, but it's not. There's things that I can do, and ways that I can help, and you can too. Anyway, short video, but God bless you all. And I'll try and make another one real soon. It's been a crazy summer. I spread my mom's ashes this summer, and that was a good adventure. It was very beautiful, and preparing to do that was a lot of energy. Renovating a camper and all of that stuff. So even though I said I was going to make videos every week, and have a podcast every week, that didn't happen. So my apologies. Please forgive me. And I will do better, with being more consistent, and definitely, with God's help, I know I can be. Everybody have a great day. I love you all. God bless again, and take care and have faith.